Beat Saber has officially done something stupid. Again. And Synth Riders has blown away my expectations. Again. Hey listen, I like Beat Saber as much as the next guy, and I've actually gotten on the global leaderboards a time or two, but after the most recent albums were added, the game's gone downhill. Synth Riders, on the other hand, has gone out of its way to make its newest album so good that the new Beat Saber albums look like a PS2 game by comparison. Okay, PS2 games are pretty good, so we'll say like a non-Halo Xbox game. Now you might be thinking Synth Riders is a ripoff of Beat Saber, and let's be honest, it really does look like that, at least at first. Synth Riders is like Beat Saber, but turned upside down. The focus is taken away from jerky wrist movements and put into your entire body, so you actually have to move your hands to the notes rather than just turn your wrists 5 degrees. I have beaten an entire Beat Saber level by only laying on the ground and moving my wrists like T-Rex arms, but then I go over to Synth Riders and I've actually got to like move around and swing my entire arm. But I mean, that's not a bad thing. Beat Saber has that Guitar Hero vibe, where the emphasis isn't on the flow or size of your movements, it's about precision and speed. That's why people play Beat Saber for a long time. They're there to beat that Expert Plus level on speed mode so they can show their friends how freaky fast they are. Because Synth Riders takes the focus off those super fast jerky reactions, you can get entire levels that make you actually dance rather than just move your wrists really fast. It makes for a more enjoyable and casual experience. I'm not saying that Beat Saber is worse because of the style of gameplay, in fact there are upsides and downsides to both. While Beat Saber's gameplay leaves much to be desired in full body movement, it does make up for that by being incredibly fast and easy to pick up, and extremely enjoyable competitively. I don't know if it's just how many notes you're slicing or the way they're arranged, but there's nothing like beating an Expert Plus Camilla track on super speed. You just feel great. Synth Riders, on the other hand, has a much more enjoyable experience casually, and while not being without challenge, is far more relaxing and less frustrating to play. The arrangement of notes and rails you have to hit is always carefully thought out, and the rails and walls and different types of notes really accentuate the music track's flow. At this point you might be thinking these games are really just different vibes, so it doesn't make sense to compare the two, and you would have been right if it weren't for the past 2 newest Beat Saber albums. I don't know what executive was on crack and had this idea, but my best guess as to what happened is there was a Beat Saber board meeting where everybody got wasted and went to play Beat Saber. They accidentally started playing Synth Riders and got mixed up, and then they put Synth Riders rails and curved notes into Beat Saber. Curved notes are like, they're just a mess. They're really big and it makes it so you can't see the notes behind them well, and I could deal with that, but Beat Saber literally added Synth Rider rails to their songs and it just doesn't work. Now, I'm not the sharpest bulb on the cake, but I know enough about Beat Saber to know that you should never, ever take that feeling of knee-jerk reactions away from the player. They came to hit notes fast because that's what Beat Saber is about. This would be a little more okay if it wasn't so jarring to have to switch between these flowy lines and super fast jerky sequences. Synth Riders can pull this off because all the songs have a certain flow to them, and the note arrangements always mirror the music extremely well. The albums that Synth Riders chose to use to emphasize their notes and rails are like Electro Swing and Lindsey Stirling songs that have a certain smoothness or swing to them. Beat Saber said, "I can choose music that goes with my notes too." Beat Saber showcased their special new rails and curved notes by choosing to emphasize them in their 2 newest albums because nothing says swing and flow like hardcore dubstep and Fall Out Boy. Synth Riders chose Electro Swing and Lindsey Stirling. Beat Saber chose dubstep and Fall Out Boy. Do you see where the crack was smoked in this equation? I bought the Fall Out Boy music pack on Beat Saber. When I loaded in, I thought the fact that they put a silhouette crowd that was animated at 5 frames per second was pretty lousy. I mean, I couldn't tell if I was facing the stage, or is this the stage, and why is that logo over there if I'm on the stage, and I feel like there could be some more pyrotechnics instead of the same Beat Saber lights as every other level, and I just thought of 100 things that would have been cool. The craziest thing that happened in the Fall Out Boy songs was this. You might have missed it there. In the distant background, there were 2 tiny fireballs. Now let's compare that to the Lindsey Stirling songs on Synth Riders. Here's the big change that happens in the Lindsey Stirling background. Now, that was pretty subtle. I might have to go back and replay that in slow-mo in case you missed the entire world turning 90 degrees. The Fall Out Boy music pack cost me $11. And the Lindsey Stirling pack cost me $7. $11, $7. $11, $7. Let me put them side by side. Okay, so you see the difference now. Now, the fact that the Lindsey Sterling pack was bought by far fewer players for a smaller price made me wonder, where did the budget go for the Fall Out Boy music pack? And then I remembered that all the Beat Saber DLC proceeds go directly towards the charitable cause of making Mark Zuckerberg a chair out of $100 bills and collector's edition nickels. I feel like the past 6 months of Beat Saber versus Synth Riders could be summed up as Beat Saber saying, "We can beat you at your own game," and Synth Riders saying, "Then do it." And then Beat Saber did not beat Synth Riders at their own game and also wasted valuable time making these music tracks that feel more gimmicky than authentic. It's too late in the game to add new types of notes for Beat Saber. I honestly hope that Beat Saber redoes these tracks and doubles down on the gameplay that we know it for rather than adding gimmicks that make it a little more like Synth Riders. In short, if I had to recommend a game as of this moment, I'd snag Synth Riders over Beat Saber. If you disagree with me, be sure to let me know in a nasty comment where you cuss me out and say you're unsubscribing. If you do agree with what I'm saying, subscribe for a few months until you disagree with me about something and then throw a tantrum and unsubscribe. See ya.